and Lucas's video's on, meaning it's now being recorded in video, so I don't have to convert it.
And do we have to announce who we are?
I guess
so he knows.
So. Lucas, go. I guess Lucas doesn't need to see something.
I'm Lucas.
I'm Sven.
I'm Alexis.
I'm Jenna.
Yay. And we're the only ones who can make it tonight.
Well, dang. Alright.
Alright.
Who has an icebreaker?
You say who has a nice brain? That's real.
I said
nice.
icebreaker, but a nice brain is also a gift.
Alright, let's go through those topics you had. What is that list of topics you had for this call?
You just want me to pull up my list?
No, there's a giant list that you messaged all of us. I'm just wondering if that was it.
You mean that one in the Skype call?
Oh, you do.
It says, does anyone have the right to limit the opinions of others?
Okay, I was going to save those for later, but...
Oh, okay. No, that's what I was just
You
wondering.
want me to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and jump in there. Okay, so my point comes from chapter 1, and it talks about the quote, the only reason we interact with one another is for self-protection. I think that's very wrong. I mean, if I want to self-protect myself, I'm not going to go interact with a bunch of people because, they could easily harm me, whether physically or mentally. So why would
on the other hand, if you have more relationships with people, you get more secure and feel like you let your guard down. I guess that's what you're referring to as feeling uncomfortable about that. But if you are a more social person and having the more people around you, the more secure you are. And that's probably what it's aiming towards.
Is there a page number you have, maybe, so I can find it?
On his it says page 9 on the notes.
Okay, probably it.
Chapter 1, page 9.
Which
might not be the same for everyone.
I have to pull up the PDF. What was it, chapter 1 you said?
Must be in the middle paragraph. Chapter 1.
It's, if you have the other book, the Dover Thrift.
Okay, I'll take your
edition.
word for it.
Okay.
Just take your word for it.
I just found it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I also disagree. I don't think it's that simple to say that we only interact with each other for self-protection. I can't imagine he himself believes that when he says it. Is that like a counter-argument, maybe? Like he is talking? Like he's making straw man, maybe?
It says that the only purpose... I just lost it. That principle is that the sole end for which mankind are warranted individually or collectively in interfering with the liberty of action of another of their number is self-protection.
Wait, is this saying he's only justified in doing it for self-protection, or that they only do it for self-protection? Because those are different things.
It sounds like the only reason, like our sole end.
I think he's saying that's the only okay way to what did he say?
Wait, that our purpose in life is to go out, find people, and be safe?
No, I think he's saying that it's the only way for you to, in this case, silence a person? Is that what he said?
He says that later on, I think.
He's talking about, he justifies that it's okay to do this because you need to save yourself. Something like that.
Oh.
I think he's making.
I know what you're talking about.
I think the being quiet, or telling someone to be quiet, is later in chapter 2.
Yeah, that's at the very end of chapter 2.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that you might have misread that, because instead he's saying the only time it's okay to do that is when your life is at risk. Otherwise, he comes off as reasonably smart. There's no way you just say the only time we communicate with one another is when we want to save ourselves.
Yeah, that's what it reads as to me. And that's what it sounded like in Roger's notes.
Hey, I just pulled up his notes. Where in the notes? Because I like this. Where in the notes is it?
It's the preliminary.
Okay.
It's the very first page.
Can you just screen share? Oh, you can't because you don't have a good Skype account or a computer.
I don't know how to. Yeah. Is it like 1.4, 1.5, 1.12?
It says
1.9?
1.9. It's that
Oh.
huge. It's that huge first paragraph.
Hey, I'm gonna copy this to you guys.
Yeah, you guys see that new South Park episode? Great.
No.
What?
South Park episode?
Screw South Park, man.
Well, South Park's great. You know, their seasons aren't as good as they used to be, but you know.
I'm pretty sure they get all their ideas from jailmates.
I imagine they just get all their ideas from online. Or not in the current events. That's all they seem to do. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's all they seem to do anymore.
Okay,
What was... The notes
Okay,
were
the
on
sole
e-learning.
for which mankind are warranted individually or collectively in interfering. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. So I guess he says the only end for which mankind is justified. That's what the word warranted means. For themselves or a group in bothering another person, liberty is self-protection. Okay, yeah. So that's what I think he said. Is that it's only okay to silence another person if that would kill you. Or liberties. I don't know what, in this case I imagine liberties are all freedom of speech because that's what his paper's about.
Yeah, I think so too.
Which brings me over to my first question, which is the whole basis for this, is does anyone have the right to limit the opinions of others?
According to him, as long as you know it's true.
Wait, he said that? I thought he said it wasn't okay regardless if it was true.
I thought
the point of all this is you should listen to other people's opinions, even if they're wrong.
Does anyone feel that someone does have the right to limit the opinions of others?
I mean, in a government in which the people agree at it, yes.
Well, besides, this is a moral argument. It's not a has it been done, because it has been done and it is being done, but it's a question of should it be done.
I might not like it, but no.
I don't think so. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their own beliefs.
Okay, so like, what about in the? I thought that in like North Korea that they just like blare, like on the speakers, or maybe even like during like Hitler times or something. They would just like blare on the speakers like, "You're worthless, you're worthless, you're worthless," like all the time, like to the people, or like the Jews are bad and whatnot. So that's still okay?
What? I'm sorry.
that-
What?
You mean
that
the
example make
government-sponsored hate speech?
Oh,
I think there's a difference between a voice of opinion and complete brainwashing.
yeah, propaganda and okay. I think that's an interesting line. So where do we draw that line between propagating? What's the name? Because I don't want to say propaganda. Where's the line between brainwashing and propaganda between having a genuine argument with someone, in your opinions? Because is school okay? Is educating a person, like, is our school system currently allowing debate, or is it, mind controlling people?
That's a hard one.
It's definitely not doing it on purpose.
I mean, they're not doing it on purpose.
Look, if it's conditioning you or brainwashing you, it's not doing it on purpose.
I beg to differ. I think sometimes they remove things from textbooks because they don't want those issues to be continually brought up later.
Just like in Interstellar.
Okay, they might remove, I think, like things like evolution probably, but they're not gonna push or enforce their own kind of agenda.
But is their agenda not to remove the opinions that cause, I guess, in their case, issues with the school board?
I guess if their object is to just, as long as you don't win, I'm okay with that kind of mentality. Okay.
When we were talking to Roser about it, and I said, I guess when you accept some things as true, you can get more done. in this case where we have to assume that everything has at least some equal potential for truth, or that each one might hold some fragment of truth, then it's really hard for people to form their own opinions strongly. I mean, like, how would a education in, let's say we let Mill make our education system, how would he go do it? Would we even teach kids? Would it be like, here's 3 different textbooks. Here's the creationist one. Here's the scientist one. Read them and determine for yourself. And then our test is, an essay where you talk about whatever you want.
That's a cool question.
I feel like that's a good thing to do, but there's something bad about it. Like,
why?
I don't know. I just feel like it wouldn't work.
I'm with Vin on this. I think you have to, for at least the younger people who, honestly, they will believe whatever is given to them first. Normally, typically that's how it works. Whatever they hear first is they believe in it. That's why they believe in Santa Claus. So if you give them 2 textbooks, I'm not saying they're not going to approach each one equally. I think they read the first one and they just accept that one as the truth. Or maybe they come in with bias from their parents.
That'd be good.
So I don't think you can truly.
And honestly, I think kids as young as are what age would you introduce this in? Honestly,
oh, that's so hard. Oh, isn't it? What age does the human brain stop developing? Isn't it like
25?
Oh, God.
Never.
What age do we allow kids to drink? 18, right?
21.
Well, 21 in most states, but 18 if you go.
Or 18 in other countries.
Okay, I think 18 would be okay.
Okay, because I was thinking if you did that at when they're just turning between 10 and 13, they can't really think for themselves at that point, so they won't know what to make out of it.
Yeah, I'm thinking, for example, in North Korea, they don't allow their parents to teach their kids religion. So I imagine it still goes on. I imagine you get all the underground teaching, or people do it in their own household.
Yeah.
But would that be something that you think Mill would like? Do you think that'd be something that we should, in our own country, should implement?
That people should introduce a religion at a later age?
Yeah, you can,
yes.
You can believe in religion, but you can't be brainwashing it into it at a young age.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that would be a good idea.
No.
Oh.
Why?
Just don't know.
Why? Tell us.
Why should someone be denied any information until a certain age? Because then, why just stop with religion? Then let's just not teach anyone anything until they're 18.
Yeah. What if religion's true?
What if it's not?
No, they might believe it.
No.
It's
not the point if it's not. The point is if it is, you're the one that's denying it.
I'm saying because they're small-minded at this age, they believe
what
they first get.
What if it's not? You asked what if it's not, right?
Yeah.
Well, the burden is on you. What if it is? You'd be denying him that. I wouldn't.
That is also
if I
true.
was the one providing it, I wouldn't be not denying them anything.
No, but you're denying them by forcing it down. Like the parents will force them to believe it.
I'm not forcing it. I'm providing it. I'm just putting it out there.
So we all know that there, under no circumstance does a 6-year-old
here. How about this?
Have the right to say, "No, mommy, I don't want to believe in that." No, that's not gonna. That doesn't work that way. The kid will believe whatever the parents want him to believe.
You've got some real issues, Zach.
No, but it's true. What kids have you known at a young age disagree with their parents?
I don't know a lot of kids. I don't hang out with kids.
I have 2 little brothers, and whatever's stuffed in their heads, they go with it.
Yeah, see, I don't think anyone. I'm talking under the age of 12. I'm not even after the age of 12. I mean, it becomes harder. But under the age of 12, people believe in Santa Claus.
Kids ages 1 to 5 are sponges.
Yeah.
Anything you say, anything you do, they do.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, why would you say that by not teaching them till they're old enough to understand what they're learning is denying them something? I don't understand what you mean by that, because they can still learn it at age 18. What's wrong with that?
Okay.
Oh, you scoffed at me. You scoffed.
I did scoff. I just don't think that any knowledge or anything should be held back until a certain age. So you're just
I feel
maybe
okay.
they are. What? Sorry.
Like,
Only sex
what if they
education.
had like little introductions to it? Like they know what it is, but they don't get into actual depth about it.
Oh, I got okay. They can learn it in school the same way we have religious classes and social studies, but their parents can't be the ones teaching it because the parents are the ones that will make the decisions for them.
Yes.
This is where I'm drawn. It's okay for them to be educated about it in school. It's not okay for them to be taught it from their parents, authority figures who will force it on them.
I think it's better if it's in a social situation rather than a private.
Yeah,
But then, how far can we go with teaching it? Because I mean, I went to a Christian school where it was taught all the time.
Where they, like I was saying, to where they get a firm understanding of what it is, but they don't actually go into depth.
I agree with that. What about you, Lucas?
Yeah, but a child has no distinction of depth or private.
Well, that's why I would say probably do it in a middle age of teens, or not like actual 18, but like maybe where they actually can somewhat think and understand of what they're doing instead of like kindergarten to like, I don't know, 3rd, 4th grade. The same thing as like learning later maths and other
But the
sciences.
question still remains specifically on religion, not just any kind of fact or information or opinion.
Well, I like that. I like your thought that if we're doing it with religion, why don't we do it with others?
Yeah.
I gotta think of a counter argument for that. Give me a second.
Kind of like teaching the kids about Thanksgiving and how we got along so well with the Native Americans.
Well, I think that's also
Columbus Day, genocide. No one knows.
Somebody snorted.
I mean, like, why? Why are we not just telling the truth? And like, why are we just like covering it up and like make it sound really pretty with a bow? Why can't we just say, hey kids, we kind of fucked up in the past a little bit, so let's just learn from our mistakes and try and get better at it.
It's because we don't want to look. America doesn't want to look dumb.
That's why the education system is like trying to not talk about Indians.
It's like, yeah, we just killed off almost an entire race. How do you feel about that?
The cat out of here.
I still can't think of a counter argument for that. I think that's
Indians or Native Americans.
Wait,
No.
maybe no parent
Why
should be
stop
allowed
at
to teach their kids something that.
No what?
What if no parents are allowed to teach their kids matters like that? Only the school systems are. I disagree with that.
So the moment you're born, you got zero interaction
So
with your parents.
this is not going to ever apply. It'd be hard as shit. It'd be like, this is like a feel-good law, like kids can't drink. They still drink all the time, but you know.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, this is our magical perfect world law. Would you guys agree with that? That parents are not responsible for their own kids' education?
Are not responsible.
Yeah, because the authority figures will make them believe.
Well,
that's how the law is worded.
Wait. What if, like, you know how authority is now? Like Jenna was saying, how they restrict things and such. Wouldn't they just do that in this case as well?
What do you mean by restrict things?
By restricting of what they should learn, saying, oh, you should be learning this, or when you're teaching religion, they're teaching them it, but they're teaching them the wrong way of teaching it.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Coded in lies, basically.
My problem with... I want to tie this back into the book, because we kind of got off topic, but we'll keep continuing this. Is, for example, and his logic is, a person must come kind of to their own conclusion by listening to every argument. And my counter-argument to that is, there's a lot of fucking arguments. Like, if you had to learn every religion and then decide what religion you wanted to believe, you'd be there for a long time.
Yeah,
Why can't we all be right?
Why can't we all be right? Because, you know, you have two conflicting opinions that, like, you can't have, some opinions you cannot both hold.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be nice to be super well-rounded. And then I think that truth...
well-rounded. I think this makes you indecisive. If you have to wait for every opinion and you only harbor... if you believe that every opinion has a...
See, at that point, I don't think you should hear every opinion. You should just do your own research at that point and make an opinion from yourself.
But you can't do that at a young age.
Yes,
Sure you can. Internet,
We're,
YouTube videos.
you're telling me like you're saying an 8-year-old must be like an 8 to 10-year-old must be responsible for themselves for teaching themselves everything because they can't trust the school system, they can't trust their parents.
Here's a knife, here's an axe, go fend for yourself.
Yeah. No.
Oh, Fluffy, you're so fluffy.
Hunger Games.
I don't know. I think that kids have a better understanding of what's right and what's wrong, and more than you're giving them credit for.
I disagree entirely.
Like, okay, if you were to go tell a little 5-year-old, "Hey, go kill that person over there," or
They've already been
No,
conditioned
do
by
you
their
know
parents
what they
not to
do in
kill
Africa?
Okay, I want to say personally, a guy told me that, and I did it.
Is Alexis on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh,
Yeah. But going back to kids knowing right from wrong, in Africa they get kids to kill their families all the time.
There you go, Sin. Prove her wrong.
yeah, that was after a lot of brainwashing. It wasn't just like,
No, it's not brainwashing. It's do or die. That was the point.
yeah, okay, well, a lot of fear was instilled in them. Exactly, do it or die. I'm not saying if you threaten kids. I'm just saying with the general education with kids, if you're just like, hey, here's a truth bomb. You either like it or you don't. I don't know. I don't think that it would throw them off as much as you think that it would. And I think that they can handle a little bit more. They're not just like walking around mindless until they're 18.
No, I agree that they're completely mindless. Young kids
No,
are,
I'm saying they're not mindless.
they are completely and utterly mindless.
They're easily
Yeah,
influenced.
pretty much.
And I don't think you can prove me that they have any set of morals that you can't teach away strong enough.
Okay, look, you can teach something a kid to believe it
Okay.
the most strong, powerful way possible. And let's say it might be wrong, and then you try and teach him what's right. You've already taught him something, and he's just gonna grab onto that one thing.
Because
Right.
there's kids even raised nowadays to where they think it's right, but it's totally wrong.
Yeah, you kids grown up to be racist.
And it's there's no avoiding it. It's all based on how they're raised. It's influence. It doesn't matter if they're brainwashed or whatever. It's just how it comes out to be.
Okay, nurture plays a role, but so does nature as well.
I don't think.
And I think our true nature would be actually killing each other, honestly.
Well,
Well, then how come you're not killing people?
because
Because
I
I
wanna
have
go to jail.
self-control.
That was
And we
nurture.
don't want the consequences. If there was no consequences, oh my god, it would be like the purge everywhere.
No, I don't think so.
I was breastfed till
Yeah,
I was
pretty
9. That's
I
why.
don't know. I like to think that people are good from birth. Let's see.
you remember how Louis C.K. said, "You know what stops people from murdering? The law against murder. If we didn't have that, there'd be a lot more murder."
It's kind of
Yeah.
true.
Imagine if murdering was like a $1 fine.
Like someone pissed you off at school, stab him in the heart, done there. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna get arrested. Who
My
cares?
God, in China, there are 2 laws. One concerning if you hit someone with your car, that you have to pay for their medical bills, and the second law is if you kill them, you only have to pay a one-time fine. And there have been reports of people going back to run them over.
Yeah, you see all the videos where they drive and then back up because they're like, "Oh, I'm not paying the medical bills."
Like, one more time to be sure.
Make sure you run over the head. I'll get it.
Am I good? Hear
Person's
someone go
arms
now.
flailing in the too much internet.
Yeah, so what is the right way to educate kids in a world which they have to listen to every opinion?
Honestly, I don't think there is a right way.
Yeah, so I think, what is the least wrong way
Um,
in your mind's eye?
The most right way.
Damn it, Lucas.
I have a question. Do you speak in like 4 to 5 word sayings? Like you seem to got that narrowed down. You're just like, how do I get this really like long abstract thing down to like as few words as possible to sound even more abstract than it is?
Who was it that did that?
Okay, yeah.
Wait, what?
Whatever.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I kind of zoned out too.
No, I didn't zone out. I just didn't understand a fucking thing you said. I was like, so wait, are you saying like get a paragraph and put it into a sentence? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I say he does all the time. That's what.
Oh,
Talk about the
Lucas.
kids, guys. Kids are the future.
Okay, I have more questions on here, but if you guys want to keep going, you got anything, bring it up. Oh, do you remember the?
I say teach them anything.
Okay, do you remember the second minor summit? I believe. No, it's
They go over
first
it.
in Rand, where Roger was talking about how in our modern world where we don't disagree anymore, really, that we're all too accepting, so we don't get to know each other too much, or something like that. That was along the lines of his argument, that we're all like not really together anymore as we might have been. And I wanted to argue was, well, that's the only logical conclusion that we can come to, because it's similar to the book here, where he says how in this case the only way that Mill's world exists is one in which we don't immediately ostracize or kill anyone with a dissenting opinion. So this way is, let's say me and Lucas don't agree on things, which is probably true. I'm not going to challenge his views. Maybe I am, but I'm not going to make fun of him, or how would you single him out or kill him? And Roser wanted to tie this back to his argument where that somehow kills social connections.
Physically killing me will also socially kill me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess so. But so Rose's argument is that we can't be too accepting, but in this logic is we always must be accepting. So I don't think you can have either or. So what would you guys want? Would you want one in which the world is all very accepting, even better than it is now, but we don't really get to know other people? I did finger quotes. You didn't see it. Versus the alternative, which is, I guess, kind of like we are nowadays, where we have internet firestorms and maybe before Tumblr, like we're talking 2002. Is that Tumblr?
Ew.
Yeah. Think 2002 with 2015 internet technology, where internet firestorms are going on, and people are calling each other fags and other horrible things, like, YouTube comments, stuff
And
like
we
that.
don't need examples.
I was gonna say, doesn't that still happen?
Which would you rather have? But you get to know people more. I did more finger quotes. You gotta love that silence. You guys thinking, or is this like a?
I'm actually trying to think.
Like Pokemon don't.
Well, I think that Mills would say the second one would be better. But definitely finding a middle ground.
What do you mean Mill said the second one? Mill said the first one, where we're all accepting, but we don't really get to know each other. But Roser was arguing against it.
No, I thought Mills was saying that we should give everyone the floor to say whatever the hell they want to
Mill's
say.
first one is we give everyone the floor, but by doing so, we make sure we don't ostracize them. So this is like, let's say Tumblr rules the world. Where everyone's like, I'm a whatever they call each other nowadays.
I feel like that was
Tumblr.
MySpace.
Yeah, so you have to pick between the world that is Tumblr or YouTube comments.
I don't have a Tumblr.
Which one would you rather have?
I don't know what that means.
Can we say Reddit? Reddit's a lot better than Tumblr.
4chan.
Fuck 4chan.
Reddit.
I don't know what Reddit is.
Oh Lord, how do you exist?
I'm off the computer. That's how I exist.
Do you
I'm
know
with you, Jenna. I have
what goes
neither
on
of
in the
these.
world?
Yeah,
That's why I
I
have
knew
Reddit
it.
on my phone.
I know you, Sven, but how do you know like current events and things?
It's called the news.
yeah.
You watch the news.
It's called the media.
Why?
But the media's shit on
Yeah, I
TV.
agree with that. It's totally wrong.
I rather have the voice of other people's opinions along with that article.
I mean, I have a bunch of different news that I follow, not just like one, but I don't get my news from Tumblr. or Reddit.
Okay, let me try to in a
Tumblr is
soundbite explain to you what Tumblr is. So Tumblr is about then help me out here. It was like what's the word for social acceptance, but a little bit more than that. Like
popular.
it's not what I meant at all. But okay. So it's all about a world of non-ostracization. It's think of it like super neo liberal, where it's like everyone
Oh yeah.
can't say anything against anyone that might be considered offensive in any way. So it's really hard to actually have a conversation on there because you might say something by accident, not meaning to, and they'd be like, "That's totally offensive. You just trigger warning me."
Okay.
Stuff like that.
And the same thing goes with Reddit. There's a mindset for Reddit,
Yeah, and
and if you don't have that mindset, you're fucked.
Yeah, then you have YouTube comments, which I'm sure you could pull up on any video, and it's like it goes typically. You get the first comment which says first, second comment says you're a fack, third comment you're a fack, fourth comment it's just like they're really offensive. Okay, so you have the world which is no one's offensive to each other, everyone's super accepting, but no one really knows each other. That's what Roser was making during the first minor summit. So remember that where Ayn Rand was talking about?
I feel like we should be accepting even if we don't know them.
Yeah, so you have to pick between the two worlds. You have to pick between one which we're very accepting, but we don't really know each other, finger quotes.
With nice people.
But how are we
Yeah, but
actually
they
knowing
might
each other?
be mean people, but they're just acting nice. It doesn't. Versus people say what's on their minds, even though it might be offensive. But we get to know people more, I guess.
But when you say that we get to know them, how do you mean that
I
we
don't
get
know.
to know
This
them?
is what
Because
Roser was saying.
yeah, because I
What
mean,
are you saying? I'm just kidding.
He said this during our first. This is like weeks ago, and I'm still in my brain about how I don't like that statement. So my logic is, it has to be the first one because that's the only conclusion that you can go to that pisses the least number of people off.
Yeah, but just because people are honest all the time doesn't mean that we're just gonna be assholes all the time. I mean, I like brutal honesty. I'm a big fan of that. So I'd rather have someone say I look fat in a dress and then I can get on with my day than tell me I look cute and just know that 50% of what they're saying might be a lie. I don't know.
yeah,
But
I
it
prefer
feels
brutal
nice, doesn't it?
Hey.
Yeah. So that's Vin's argument is, you can be offended. So your logic is, worrying about offending
Get
people.
tougher skin then. Okay, but if you're around that shit all the time, you'll eventually get some tough skin. People are going to be walking around
Right.
crying
My
all the
logic
time.
is,
Oh yeah, I'll agree with that. I am desensitized out of wherever non-existence is, because I've been, or not, I've been personally, but like you could say anything to me and I won't be offended. Like it's just not the people who get offended over anything. It just doesn't happen to me. So there's people who get offended really easily, and then there's people who just flat out don't give a shit.
Yeah.
yeah. So Mill's world is the one in which we have to be willing to accept all opinions, regardless of how stupid we may think they are. Because you can't ostracize them in society. And so that's the saying is, do you want to be in that world? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds ideal.
What the heck was that?
My cat's meowing and I'm
Oh.
in her.
That was Zach meowing at his cat.
Yeah.
Zach,
don't
Zach,
love
do you
cats.
need help? Are you okay?
Can you not see the camera?
Wow, your cat's pretty nice.
She's not happy. I'm gonna put her paws. Okay, next question. Let's see what's going on time. I think we're doing great actually. Yay, 34 minutes in. We just have to do this twice our current time.
And we're still on chapter 1, I think. Are we? No, we're on chapter 2. Never mind.
We're always on chapter 2.
Sorry. We were talking about chapter 1 in like the first 10 minutes. I was like, wait.
So I want to think of some examples where it's okay to silence a person's opinion. Now,
You're talking about my mother.
in my mind, the only opinions that are okay to
No, I'm
silence-
serious. If someone's talking about my mother.
Let's see. Unjustified.
Yeah, my opinion are the ones that are like the opinions that say we should get rid of the freedom of speech. Things that once they are in power, stop other opinions from dissenting against them.
But you're fucking yourself over.
Okay, I gotta put her down so you're gonna get too angry.
Did you just call his cat a faggot?
I did not, but I do occasionally.
Don't worry, I call my cat shit.
Guess what? I don't have cats.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so let's say there's a new group coming to power in America, and their whole goal is that once we are in power, we will kill the democratic process. Okay?
Yeah, but wait,
okay to silence those people.
That has to be a part of their goal. What's their actual goal that they're trying to sell people on?
They want all white people should be kings.
Okay, I'm good for that.
Yeah,
I'm safe.
cool.
Nah, I'm good with
that.
So they want to get into power and they want to kill. Once they get in power, they want to kill conversation. Is it okay for us to silence them?
Look, under the way things are, no. Under the way should be, no. If it's best, though, yes.
Are you rhyming?
Yeah, right?
So all of you agree that we shouldn't silence those people?
I think it should be silenced. Like, it depends on where it comes from. I think if things, like, come from a mean place, this is just, like, the lame hippie in me. But I think if it comes from a negative, mean place, then it shouldn't be said. But if it comes from a good place of love, then sure. Then anything from a place of love should never be silenced.
I love the white race.
But I know that my argument is not, I don't know, going to be agreed by the whole world. But that's my own personal thing.
I agree. Okay, so for example, he said we should have debates with people. Now, there are some times which you shouldn't have a debate with person because even debating them gives their opinion credence. For example, let's say you have a flat worlder today arguing against someone from like on a debate. That is, in my mind, giving them false positions. Because even having a debate with that person gives some sort of credence that they might be right when they are without 100%.
But if you have a strong enough debate, you could crush them and make them have a mental breakdown.
But you also have all the times in which, let's say in this case, the speaker they chose gets up there and it just sucks, and it looks like the flat worlder wins. Okay, in my mind, that's a mistake because I'm sure.
How do you know the world's not flat? Because people told you? Because the books that you've read?
What? Yes.
But you haven't actually.
I've held the world in my hands.
Scientific community. I don't see. This is the difference. Is you're going to say, well, how do I know? I don't need to know because I can just fucking read a book.
Yeah. Well, what if that flat world person? Because there's books on that shit. There's like little weird theories about it.
You get to choose. You're right. This is the part where you get to choose, and I choose that they are wrong.
Okay,
and if the world was flat, wouldn't we eventually fall off?
So, wait. Knowledge, and an exception of truth is a choice, and if knowledge is power, then power is choice.
I've taken an airplane around the world. How does that work? Did the airplane... I don't know how...
Yeah, but
oh my god, it's lost all over again.
No, the airplane ride was probably flat. It wasn't like a roller coaster. You weren't like at like a 45-degree angle.
No,
I mean, just because you've ridden on a plane doesn't mean that you know for a fact.
Okay, I have a question though. How do you think the stars work and stuff? How does the horizon work? If for example,
I'm not a flat worlder.
Stars that I do.
I mean, I get that the world is round. I'm just saying.
I can go with you on this.
You're right. You can just naturally, not having to just put faith in a book, you can naturally come to these conclusions just by putting some common sense into it. For example, I see a picture, and that guy's sky completely
When you
different.
say naturally, you mean using my eyes, or
in other words, pick no proof.
use kind of some kind of deductory
How
method.
do satellites
to
work
come-
then? If the world
Yeah.
is flat, how do satellites work?
They go from side to side.
What?
I mean, that's true. You just see
How
it
do they go side to side? I don't understand.
I
Oh,
just
and
use
it's
natural
supposed to
sense
say.
to figure that out. Boom.
My mind doesn't comprehend.
How does the sun disappear in the sky?
No, it's a new sun every day. It's a
There you
totally
go.
different star.
That's like the Native Americans believe.
Versus,
like-
okay, so you have all these arguments to justify yours versus.
I thought we were in a
versus Brown,
giant dome.
Suddenly it makes sense.
I'm just saying,
Well-
people wouldn't argue. Well, I'm doing it, but let's see. I don't know. If people think it's truth, they didn't just pull it out of their ass. They must have learned it from somewhere, and there's opinions everywhere. So I just mean, just because if you were like at that debate with like the flat world person, I think that you should let that person say whatever the fuck they want to say, because they might be right for all we know.
Okay.
Not
okay.
in that scenario, but
Let's
what?
say we do know it's false. Do we have to, like, give a warning? How was it that someone said it before?
Like,
Uh,
what do you like a notification before it starts? Like the guy
Yeah.
that's an idiot.
yeah, kind of thing. Oh, this is wrong.
Do you?
How do you call that when something's like not safe for work?
You can search that. You have the internet at your disposal. But
I want you to tell me.
see, this is what I've noticed with the modern world. Is people they'll ask each other. Even I bet Sven, you notice it on Reddit. Someone will ask a question, even though they could just totally Google it.
Yep.
They just want the answer given to them.
Well, on the other hand, the thing about Reddit is they're more specific on how they give answers, and if you just look it up on Google, it's really bad.
Okay, in 1% of the time on specific scientific subreddits, they are more specific. The
True.
other 99% of the time, you will get a joke as a response.
Yes. Yeah, that's why you have to put serious quotes on it. Otherwise, moderators will just take any jokes off.
Yeah, so, what can you determine as being completely true? I think you can soundly say the scientific laws and mathematical laws are true.
How do you know that?
How do I know that?
Yeah.
How do you not know they're true?
Because the whole math thing is totally arbitrary.
Well, okay, let's say this. Can you get more things done with knowing math or without knowing math? Is it not a necessity to living?
Yeah, what's your measure of more and what's your measure of stuff?
So
Is it quantity over quality?
so here, okay. In my mind, you teach people for two things. For hopefully they better themselves as a person, and they don't fuck up society. Those are the two reasons why you teach someone something. Okay? We're going to ignore the first one in this case, because the second one is a lot more about you teach people, for example, to drive on the right side of the road.
Oh, it's like self protection.
You're-
Like the first sentence in the note. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Ah, he does agree with this.
So you can, for example, in his book where he talked about it's okay to infringe it. So I guess he says by telling them it's the truth, you are infringing on their rights. But it's okay in this case because telling them to drive on the right side of the road in America, despite you're telling them it's true, and they might justly disagree with you, is right because you're saving their life, or your own life, or some life of some random kid, stuff like that. I think he would agree with. That's what you just said. I just noticed that he ties in where you said it's okay because the saving life is more important, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, horrible. Every kid had to learn how to drive without a teacher because God forbid, the teacher tell them something that's true without them coming up to their own conclusion. Anyone want to next? Got a topic, or you just want me to keep going? Knocking them out of the park. Yeah, 44. Great. Alexis, you awake?
I'm awake. I'm listening to you guys.
I noticed you are definitely listening.
I've just had really nothing to say or nothing to conjecture.
Okay.
I've been agreeing and disagreeing, just not voicing it.
You've yet to voice those
we'll voice
disagreements or disagreements.
I know.
Say something, even if you sound stupid.
Look, I want to
I
say
did.
No, Alexis, one moment. Before you say anything, I want you to know that I prohibit you from saying it. So, whatever you say, I'm not going to allow it.
Okay.
Okay?
I don't think she has a problem with that.
Yeah, I really don't.
Shush!
No, he's being ironic about the reading. You can say what you want to say.
No, you shouldn't, because Lucas is right, and we all know that Alexis is wrong.
What kind of truth is that? Come on, Alexis.
Okay, are we switching topics now?
I mean, if you want to, sure.
Okay. Well, I guess this could tie into it, but like the whole early versus modern Christianity, how back then they knew what they were fighting for and they had a reason to fight. Nowadays, it just seems like I feel like it's almost like jumping on the bandwagon. Like you say you're a Christian, but do you really know what it means to be a Christian or why you accepted it? And this doesn't just apply with Christianity; it can apply, for a political party. You say you're a Republican or a Democrat. Why do you say such things? Do you actually know what they teach?
So I mean that ties back into our education thing.
Yeah.
No, you're tying it.
Well, I'm tying it back to our education thing. Okay, because I want to.
Let Alexis
Right.
take it wherever she wants.
It's a matter of.
I kind of opened it up for discussion.
Nope, finish it.
Yeah, but is it wrong that they accepted it? In my mind, depends on their age. Because at the age of like 20, it's fine. I don't care. They can believe whatever they want because if they want to be an idiot, they can be an idiot.
They're a grown adult.
Yeah. At a younger age, it's like, oh, I feel really bad for you because you purposely shut yourself off at such a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are where I draw the line. What about you, Gina? What did it say you?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Oh,
Here?
I've been walking around. Pat.
You're walking around with like what, the camera on? Or like the Skype on your phone?
With my laptop because I was dying, or the battery was dying. I was dying. So sorry, I was distracted.
I'm melting.
Sorry.
I'm spinning.
Yeah.
Witcher. Okay. So that ties in where you need to have conflict.
Get out of here, Mom!
So that ties into the next part, which is great because I think we have 10 minutes left?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, 10 minutes left. We can cover this last piece, and then we'll go wing the rest, whatever remaining time we have. So, we're talking about you need to have dissenting opinions to whatever you believe, and lots of challenges to it, because it will not only prove to you and yourself that it's true, if it is true. It might convince you that if you're wrong, that their opinion's right. And it's also, what did he say? It's like it gives your belief spirit or something like that. Does anyone have the actual quote? Should have written it down. I wrote my own,
Wait, was this towards the end of the On Liberty?
Kinda. This is where it's like, even if you, like Dead Dogma, stuff like that, where there's a spirit innate in all arguments, I guess. And you should have conflict with it because otherwise you lose that spirit. Which I don't know if I agree entirely if there's a spirit inside each argument. I just think, someone who adamantly believes what they're doing and being constantly challenged is more used to arguing with it and is more adamant in their beliefs. So they just come off like there is a spirit in the argument.
There's Dead Dogma, not a living.
Yeah.
And Dead Dogma is on paragraph 21.
Yeah, so how many of you agree with what he's saying? That there is something innate in an argument that you need to keep alive, and you do so by constantly challenging it.
E.
No.
It's a ye. It's not an agreement.
Because when I was about to say yes, but I just kind of confused myself when I was
trailed
thinking about it.
I don't think you have to keep challenging something to keep it alive.
Well, there you go with your very blunt statement.
Because we can all agree the mitochondrion is the powerhouse of the cell.
Oh, you are a brilliant person. Are you quoting Reddit?
Yes.
I know. It's the first thing you think of.
I think I saw it yesterday.
Yep.
It's like, what is something we can all agree on?
So you see, there we go.
Yeah.
Done with that. We don't need the 10 minutes. Let's shut it down.
Oh, we're just gonna end early.
Oh
Sorry.
no,
We
no,
have
no.
9
Let's
minutes.
Keep going.
Lucas told us that we could end early. I said,
So
Roger,
obey.
blame
Brave
Lucas.
okay, but how many of you feel that, let's say, in a world in which there is no dissenting opinion, not because we're forcing it, but just because the truth is so self-evident, what do you do? For example, our flat world argument, I don't think anyone adamantly believes in it anymore. I mean, look,
You would be
Good.
wrong.
How are you?
there's people that adamantly believe it still?
Yes.
That's
I
Yeah.
don't think so.
kind of sad. Let's say, what's an argument that no one alive disagrees with?
What I just said earlier.
No, can we think of one? Besides the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, I'm not going to do that one.
That there's a good and there's a bad.
What if all bad is good? Oh no.
Oh, I'm not saying that people can agree on what's good and bad.
Okay, I can't think of an adamant example, maybe because that will answer my own question I'm about to say. Is, let's say there is no dissenting opinion, not because we forced it, but because the truth is so self-evident, everyone just simply agrees. Okay? Do we try to foster dissent even though it might be wrong? Do we, for example, either teach them the wrong things purposefully, or do we kind of not teach them the whole evidence just so they might come to a different conclusion just for the sake of argument?
Okay, if we go by the thought that truth isn't the best, that you can get something better than something that is true, then yes, you should. Because then, if you're going against the truth, you would probably be striving to go for what's better.
I have no clue what you just said.
I know, I'm a little lost.
Okay, I'm going to say this. So let's say in this world, everyone agrees the sky is blue. No dissenting opinions. Okay.
Can we all agree on clean air is the best air?
Are you just on Reddit scrolling down and reading off the top comments?
No, I am not. Thanks.
What if you enjoy smoking?
I am on treehugger.com. Thank you.
Okay, so let's say in this world, everyone agrees sky is blue. Even the colorblind people are like, it's probably blue, I just can't see it. Okay? Is it right for us to then make a school of, I don't know, green sky people, which we then randomly assign kids based on districts, be like, you're going to go to the green night school, and they teach them that the sky is green, despite all evidence contrary to it, just for the sake of argument? Or do we don't teach them that the sky is blue? We're like, the sky is sort of blue. We don't know. We don't have enough evidence to prove it. Even though we do, just so that some kids might be like, the sky is green.
What if they're colorblind?
I just said colorblind people are like, it's probably blue, I just can't see it. So, is it okay to foster differing opinions for the sake of argument, even if those different opinions are wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what makes people individuals. That's why you're wearing a red shirt and everyone else is wearing different colored shirts. I don't know what everyone's wearing. I can't see.
That's why I'm naked.
I know. How do you want? How does that work?
I'm just saying.
But I think it's the example that Zach is showing. No, it's not. I mean, why are we going to send some kid from this certain district to a certain school just to tell them that the sky is green just for argument's sake? Like, just so the blue sky people have people to argue against.
I enjoy it.
Okay, so
Isn't
for
that
you,
what we do
we can
our
do it.
lives? We debate regardless.
But we don't send people to schools just to learn a certain method. Or just to learn a certain wrong
Or
point.
do we?
What do you mean?
Or do we? Is there any source or place that actually does do that?
What if you go to a Christian school?
Like evolution?
So this my problem is that back then is we're talking about kids again because kids are, as we said, sponges and you can teach them anything.
Well, because their influence
Yeah. So is it?
is.
So I guess is it? This ties back into our first argument. Let's say we did this with I don't know 20-year-olds. We open up a really nice exhibit to feed the homeless, but to feed them they have to agree the sky. They have to take a bunch of classes that will tell them the sky is green. Okay.
Mhm.
Is that okay?
I think that challenging what truth is a good thing.
Just for the sake of challenging truth?
Yeah, like, or else how else would you? Yeah, I think that
Isn't that the
challenging.
point of On Liberty too? Challenge the
Yeah, but
truth.
it's not really arguing. It's just accepting. It's forcing acceptance.
Because
I mean, I think
ultimately,
people should definitely challenge what they hear.
ultimately you'll end up with some people who will believe the sky is green, go to the debates, they'll get their ass kicked, and everyone will be like, the sky is still blue. And then the green guys won't be like, oh, I totally agree. Because I don't think debate really changes people's minds as much as someone might think it does. I think, for example, do you guys remember the Bill Nye versus Ken Ham debate?
Yep.
Yeah, do you remember that closing statement? Like, what would make you change your mind? And he said, nothing. And that was like, well, this is useless. Yeah.
Well,
So
that's like using wisdom.
you have anyone over a certain age, in my opinion, I mean, it's going to happen to me, will not change their mind. I just think.
Well, then you're just stubborn.
Yeah, that's true.
Didn't Mill say that people should like go into arguments like being open-minded and listening to
But I
other
don't think
arguments?
they can. I think at a certain age, it's just like being young. I think
But I'm
people are
right.
susceptible arguments, and old people are immovable to them.
I don't think
That's
all.
ageist. That's
It
ageist.
is ageist.
It's ageist.
Is Lucas? Are you going to sleep? You're on a pillow.
I'm trying to.
It is 8 o'clock. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I
but
got
it's the
work
end of the
tomorrow. Okay, we got 3 minutes left. You guys want to do anything really special?
week.
Right in your room.
Why is it so bright?
Yeah, it looks like natural sunlight. Is that natural?
It's
dark
because
outside.
he has the sun in his room. What are you talking about?
Yeah, where are you getting that? It's
Yeah.
completely dark.
It's pitch black outside.
Did you go to California or something?
He lives in California.
Ooh, baby. Let's go back to the light.
I do think that people change their minds though. Through experiences.
I think you're overestimating that. I think there's a lot of people who won't change their minds. I think they will believe the first thing they are told, and they will never change.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. Like, like people would go look at news articles, and they'll read just that one article and believe it.
You know, all the anti-vaccinators. You know, those people who,
Like
despite overwhelming evidence, will still just say, "I don't."
Like the vaccine causes was it Down syndrome?
Oh, this ties in perfectly. Okay, so the anti-vaccinators, they are forcing an opinion that they believe on their kids. Is it okay for us to silence that opinion because they are technically harming the life of their kid?
Okay, question. Are their kids impaired?
I don't know what you mean by impaired. Like,
do they have Down syndrome?
I imagine that's what they're complaining about, right? Like, this is probably the parents who don't want their kids to get autism.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Autism? Okay. I didn't know if it was autism or Down syndrome.
No, I'm saying I think that's like they don't want their kids to get it.
Yeah, they don't want their
way.
kids to get it, but it's if them doing that is going to cause the kids getting something not much worse, but something that could probably actually kill them later on in life.
Like, isn't it? I don't know if it's like a small possibility or is that just a rumor.
Yeah, is it okay for us to silence or bully them to change their minds? Because, for example, like we're forcing some states, it's like to go to school, your kid has to have a vaccine.
Okay, in an organized society in which we live, we kind of should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if you consider kids to not be persons because they're not 18 and you consider them their parents' property, then it's totally fine.
Yeah, but their property affects the property of other kids. If their kid gets malaria or some shit, I don't
Well,
know.
then
I
we
think
settled
it's
it in
like
court.
measles, not measles, or was it measles?
Yeah, it's measles, I think. That's
Yeah.
what it was just coming back.
That's one of them.
It's hilarious. Yeah, so if their kid gets measles and then it gets the other kid who literally is allergic to vaccines and can get them, then that's still wrong.
Yeah, but we let it settle in court because it's property versus property. Case closed.
Oh my god.
Natural selection, guys.
That too.
So we are at the 1 hour mark. I think we did a good job. You guys want to keep going or nothing?
Yeah, let's go like for a little bit more.
Okay, you guys want to watch cartoons? Because at this point, it doesn't really matter.
Yes, it does.
No, we
Wait.
watch the great.
We're not watching your cartoon.
It's great. It's hilarious.
What
Please
cartoon?
We're
Please
watching
no.
Moonbeam City.
Is that
It's the same one made by the Archer people.
It's new.
Moonbeam City? Hold on, let me look this shit up.
No.
Every episode's pretty systematic. It's the cop who really terrible at his job.
Why are you trying to sell this?
I'm selling it to him, okay?
No, why?
Because I like Archer.
Maybe I'm getting royalties. You don't know. So he cop terrible at his job.
Get
falls
your
in love.
religion out
It
of
got
here,
a
okay?
6.3 on IMDb.
There's only like 4 episodes in. How can it have a rating yet?
Yeah, the Airbender movie had a rating before it came out.
It
was a
and
10.
it was like
That's
it was
surprising.
-5.
No, it was a 10.
Good.
It was literally a 10. It was the only movie with a 10. The day it
That
came out,
pisses me off.
it went down to a 3.
I thought the interview
Good.
also had like high ratings, like before it ever came out, didn't it? Like out of principle.
Oh, you're right, because 4chan decided they're going to make it the best movie ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck 4chan.
4chan closed, right?
No.
No, 4chan is still around, sadly.
This is my scene.
Momo, time for you to go.
This is the best episode. I don't know if I'm allowed to post this if I actually show this.
The final.
Just keep it!
What?
This is a great series.
This is my favorite series.
Rosa, we're just gonna play this whole scene. You just have to watch it.
Badass kid.
You want me to fast forward to the part where he goes in Avatar state?
Yeah, sure.
Avatar state.
Him. Okay. Cool app.
This
I'm
is.
so confused.
You've never seen the series?
No.
Oh my God! You're even worse than before.
Shut up,
I-
you know.
You
I will
go
bring you
out
all
and-
3 seasons.
I live life. I don't.
Jenna, on Tuesday
Yeah.
I will bring you all 3 seasons, I promise.
Come on out, little boy. You're about to be...
That voice.
Oh, this is such a badass scene. I might get a copyright strike if I post this video.
Oh shit. Yes, you will.
You think I will?
You probably will.
Oh, that's really bad. Okay, we're gonna
Wait, no, but if you got this off of YouTube and you're just gonna repost it,
Okay, whatever. If it gets taken for copyright strikes, don't blame me.
I blame Zach.
Oh, that hurt.
can we just quit it? Probably. Like,
Wait, don't
I'm gonna,
you see
I'm
what scene where he
gonna, no,
takes
I want to go to bed.
Wish.
Can we at least quit the call?
Okay, I'll end it now. Oh god, I don't know how some of you got through without seeing that series.
Wait, Rob Lowe is in Moonbeam City? Okay.
Yes, he's Dazzle.
You?
Now I have to watch it.
Gina?
No.
Okay, so you don't go to Reddit, you don't go to YouTube. What do you do for entertainment?
I go rock climbing.
Oh shit.
I go.
Oh, do you go to that place
in the winter?
down in Atlanta?
I do. I have a membership there.
Oh shoot.
Oh, what is that? I always
I
want
went
to
there
go
once, and I was really sore the next day.
Yeah. You got to keep doing it.
Wait, can you do the bouldering where you...
Or I work at a zip line, so...
Gina, can you boulder where you climb
Yeah,
up?
well, like where you're not harnessed in. Yeah.
I don't know what you mean, but okay. I'll take your...
Bouldering is when you could do it basically free climbing.
Yeah, or upside down, I think.
What do you fall on?
A giant cushion.
Ooh. Nice.
I'm not boring. I don't just like sit and play with my cat or something.
I don't know, you sound boring.
I don't sit with my
Oh,
cat.
damn.
Euphemism. Boom.
No, I'm not boring. I'm an active person. I just don't use the computer a lot. Except for homework and this.
Okay. I mean, me and my cat are going to go watch Avatar Last Airbender, the whole series again, now that I just played that.
Yeah, I think we should do that too.
Oh god.
Yeah, so you can go have fun climbing rocks.
Um,
Plastic that looks like rocks. I'm going to go watch an amazing TV series.
I guess I'll go study for German, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, we should probably write that minor summit paper. We should probably do that. That's
yeah.
this Saturday.
I don't. Haha. I
I
already turned my quest thing in, so
Oh, I'm going to stop.
good.